Hello, my dear students. How are you? I hope you all are in good health. In this lesson, we are focusing on present perfect tense. So this lesson is an overview of the present perfect tense, what it looks like, how to use it, and when to use it. If you don't feel confident using the present perfect tense in English yet, there are probably a few reasons why. And you need to know the past participle form of English verbs, and that can be pretty tricky with irregular verbs. And you need to understand how to use this tense. Perhaps you feel unsure about when to use the present perfect tense. So I'll explain all of this inside this lesson. When using the present perfect tense, you need an auxiliary verb that helps your main verb to function. So, in present perfect tenses, the verb to have is always the auxiliary verb. And now we will talk about the function of a present perfect tense. So, the present perfect tense is often used to express a past action whose effect shows on the present and the recent happening. And now it's good to know the keywords and specific times that specify present perfect tense. And they are up to now, just, recently, already, ever, since, for, so far, and yet. So they are the keywords that specify present perfect tense. And now it's good to know the formation of the tense, how to correct the verb in the present perfect tense. You have to correct the verb by using have or has plus past participle, and this is the third form of the verb in English. And now how to make a pattern in an affirmative form. The pattern of an affirmative form for singular case for singular case, and if we have singular pronouns or nouns like he, she, and it, you have to correct the verb by has and the present perfect tense. So here, look at this example. We have this sentence, Sally has just eaten a cake. Here, because Sally is a singular noun, you should correct this verb by has. And here we have the keyword just. Just specifies present perfect tense. And eaten is the third form of the verb eat. And now for a plural case, if you have a plural pronouns or plural nouns like they, we, you, and pronoun I with the plural pronouns, you should correct the verb by have and present past participle form of the verb. For example, I have just slept well. Look at this example. Here we have I pronoun and we have the keyword just. So you should correct this verb and use the present perfect tense. And it becomes I have just slept. Slept here. It's the third form of the verb sleep. The second example we have, they have already played in the park. Here we have the pronoun they. They, it's a plural pronoun. Because they is a plural pronoun, you should use have. And here we have already. Already, this is the keyword of a present perfect tense. And played, this is the third form of the verb play. And it looks like have already played. And now, my dear students, how to make a negative pattern in a present perfect tense. At first, we will talk about a singular case. For singular pronouns or singular nouns, the negative form is hasn't. Hasn't for singular. And after hasn't, you should correct the verb by past participle or the third form of the verb. For example, here we have, she hasn't studied yet. Here, because we have a singular pronoun, she, the negative form of has is hasn't. Hasn't, and studied here, this is the third form of the verb study. And yet here, this is the keyword of present perfect tense. And you should know this important information about yet. You can use yet for negative sentences and for questions, and you can't use yet for affirmative sentences. So yet for negative and for questions. And the second thing, for plural case. For plural pronouns and plural nouns, you should negate the verb in the present perfect verb by haven't and the past participle tense. And we have these examples here. I haven't eaten yet. And the second example we have, they haven't visited me since February. This is for negative form. And now we will talk about the question form. How to make a pattern on any question in present perfect tense. For a question form or a question pattern, you should begin the question by has or have. So has for singular and have for the plural. After has or have, we have a subject, and after a subject, we have a past participle or verb 3 and the complement of the question. And now I'll give you sentences, and please write them in your notebook. The question is, correct the verbs between brackets. Look at the first one. We have recently, his mobile phone. You have here the verb find. How to correct find in present perfect tense? Here in this sentence, we have recently. Look at recently. Recently is a keyword that specifies present perfect tense. And we have the pronoun he. And because he is a singular pronoun, you should correct the verb by has found. So the past participle of verb find is found. And number 2, you for 3 months. And you have here between the brackets not and see. And here because we have not, so this is a negation form. This is the negative. So because here we have I pronoun, you should correct the verb by haven't and seen. Seen is the third form of the verb see. Number 3, she hasn't sent an email yet. Not sent here you have between the brackets. And we have the keyword yet. And it becomes hasn't sent. Number 4, boys. Boys here is a plural noun. Boys have done their homework. Here, done is the third form of the verb do. And number 5, I haven't sold my car yet. Number 6, here we have a question. So you should begin the question by have. Have you ever traveled? Have you ever traveled? Here we have the keyword ever and the pronoun you. So you should begin this question by have, and the third form of a travel is a traveled. And here we have another exercise for the present perfect tense. And please write it in your notebook. The question is, correct the underlined mistakes. Here, look at number 1. How long have you waited for me? The underlined mistake is wait. Here, wait is a main verb, so this is wrong. Because we have a present perfect tense, wait must be waited. Okay? Number 2. Nobody wrote to me since I traveled abroad. Here the mistake is wrote. Because we have a present perfect tense, wrote must be has written. Now number 3. How long have you learning English? Here learning, main verb plus ing. So this is wrong. The correct must be learned. Learned here is a past participle of the verb learn. Now number 4. We has lived in our house since 2011. Here the mistake is has. Why? Because we have a pronoun we, and we is a plural pronoun. So has must be have. And now number 5. They have studied yet. Okay, here the mistake is have. Why? Because we have the keyword yet, and we can use yet for negative and question. So have must be haven't.